Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Preparation for Leadership. Make the call. My name is Sam West and it's a pleasure to be before you today. In part 1 of Preparation for Leadership, we focus on the subtopic, No One Knows All the Answers. I remember when I attended Bible school, one of my instructors made a comment that has stuck with me until this day. He shared, you are responsible for your own spiritual growth. Again, you, each individual person, you are responsible for your own spiritual growth that people don't owe you. You get out of you what you place in you. Now, this statement applies to every field of human endeavor. If you want a better you, then become a better you. I received a call from someone this past week who reminded me of a conversation we had about 10 years ago. She shared how she had prayed for the Lord to order her steps. I commented, well, have you moved yet? Yes, you asked him to order your steps, but you are still sitting where you were this time last year or the last time that we have spoken. You have not moved. And it's like that sometimes on our road to self-discovery. We be just a sitting, waiting on the troubling of the water. We see others around you being promoted, getting additional responsibility in preparation for their next level leadership. And we're just a sitting, just watching and waiting and wondering. We look for reasons that we may not have been chosen. We look for people or other circumstances to place blame, as opposed to looking at ourselves and say, what do I need to do in order to stir up the potential that is lying dormant on the inside of me? According to Joyce Meyer, author of A Leader in the Making, the development of a personal potential is each person's number one job. Again, the development of personal potential is each person's number one job. No one can make you what you are not willing to become. Or as Dara Harris has shared, no one can make you what you need to unbecome. Only you can do that. Accept the things you know, and likewise accept the things you do not know. Then decide, what am I willing to do to grow from here? Now, here is a moving target. You're here today in terms of professional development and self-awareness may not be the same here that you'll have to face 5 years from now. But as we look at the road that our feet have trod, some paths we've chose, others were chosen for us. Nonetheless, there comes a time when we have to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, what did I do well? What do I need to improve upon? And what challenges continue to present themselves? What did I not learn from the last lesson that I find myself facing again? There are certain opportunities for growth that present themselves more than once in order for us to be able to see where we are. And in my personal experiences, they also allow us to see where we are not. Think back. Did you have all the information that you needed to be able to make the decision? Or were you too arrogant to seek help? Aldous Huxley said, experiences only teaches the teachable. Again, experience only teaches the teachable. When having to decide a course of action, let's consider the advice given by Dr. Miles Monroe. He shared that consequences are more important than a decision. He said consequences are more important than a decision because our decisions give birth to consequences. So before you decide, study the consequences, not the decision. Take time to do your research, look at historical data, what are current trends saying, and then before you decide, exhaust all of the consequences. Now, there are tangible consequences and there are intangible consequences. There are direct consequences and then there are indirect consequences. And then there are natural consequences and then there are logical consequences that follow after a decision has been made. Since none of us have the answers, having the right people around you that add value and varied perspectives is essential for you becoming a well-rounded leader, whether they always agree with you or not. I have found that the wisdom of an answer sometimes lies inside those who don't always tell you yes. Again, the wisdom of an answer sometimes lies inside of those who don't always tell you yes. There are times when I've just asked staff to just throw everything out that you're thinking about. Let's write it down and see what sticks. There are some instances where you will need a contingency plan for the contingency plan. Like COVID, for example, there were some variables we did not anticipate, and so we didn't have a template to follow. So instead of a touchdown, we settled for a field goal. On some days, we didn't move the ball at all. but we did not quit. In closing, you want people around you that have your ear and your heart. My former boss used to say, Wes, outthink me. Wes, outthink me. Everyone's voices matters. So be a leader who listens, who surrounds himself with talented individuals, one who is not afraid to admit when they are wrong, and one who learns from the wisdom and counsel of others. Remember, together, everyone achieves more. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Make the Call.